Tamar Braxton just went in front of the cameras, her voice shaking and her eyes swollen with tears, and made the ultimate confession that no one could have predicted. It was a stunning moment that sent shockwaves through the whole reality TV universe. "I'm expecting," she clutched her stomach as if it were the weight of the universe as she wept. "And my child's father is Mendeecees." That's correct. It was originally heard here. The kid of love and hip-hop's most wedded man, Harris, who vowed to be faithful to Yandy till death do them part, is currently being carried by the same Tamar who has experienced heartbreaks, breakups, and every kind of public meltdown. How on earth did this happen? Was it an inebriated night that got out of hand? A covert liaison that was more intense than anyone realized? Or something far more perverse that has been lurking for months? When she said it, the room became silent. Producers stalled. Her trembling hands were captured on camera. Additionally, you could practically hear hearts breaking over the internet in the distance. Some fans are already taking sides in what is going to turn out to be the messiest custody dispute in reality TV history, while others are going crazy and flooding timelines with fire emojis and broken heart memes while yelling, "Not mine." But wait, this is more than simply a pregnancy announcement. It's a war. Yandy still hasn't said anything, however. Rumors claim that she has already been spotted leaving their house, screaming language that would make a sailor blush. Her phone was stuck to her ear, and Mendeecees' expression conveyed all. He appeared to be a man who had just witnessed the collapse of his entire business in 4K. This bombshell is ready to blow up. Everything you believe to be true about these two families, including secrets, betrayal, baby daddies, and one small heartbeat that has the power to end two dynasties. You're not prepared for what will happen next. You won't want to miss a second, though, I promise. When Tamar Braxton dropped that bomb, the cameras were still in motion. She didn't remove the thick black rivers of mascara that were streaming down her cheeks. She simply gazed directly into the camera, as if challenging everyone to pass judgment on her. "I didn't plan this," she muttered, every syllable of her voice cracking. "But this baby is real." Mendy observes that he has been aware of this for weeks. The confessionals come next. With her hands folded over her barely noticeable bump as if shielding it from the tempest she just unleashed, Tamar is sitting by herself on that iconic red couch with her knees crossed. "Yandy was my friend," she adds, her eyes flickering between defiance and guilt. "Together, we created this crazy Bravo family, while laughing and crying. After that, things changed. Mendeecees and I had a deeper connection than I had anticipated. It went this far, even though it wasn't meant to." Yandy Smith Harris is pacing her home room like a lioness in a cage across town. Every 2 seconds, notifications appear on her phone, but she ignores them all. Her sister in the game, who is her best friend, recently revealed on national television that she is expecting a child from Yandy's husband, the same spouse who, after all the turmoil, jail time, and comebacks, promised her forever. In the uncut video that producers took immediately after the news emerged, Yandy's expression is icy. She doesn't weep. Not quite. She simply repeats a single word: treachery. Mendeecees appears to have aged 10 years in 10 minutes because he is caught in the middle. When the producers thrust a camera in his face, he is sitting on the edge of their marital bed with his head in his hands. He begins in a scratchy, low voice, "I love my wife. My hero is Yandy." However, Tamar was present as things darkened. "We laughed and chatted. It became 2 nights. It became something that neither of us could control." With bloodshot eyes, he looks up. "I hurt people, even though I didn't mean to. There's a baby now." On social media, fans are going completely crazy. Within 30 minutes, #ARPregnant is the most popular trend worldwide. Comments on Tamar's mentions range from "this is iconic messy" to "Yandy deserves better" to outright death threats. Mendeecees really said, "I can have 2 wives and 2 baby mamas on the same network," and meant it as one of the popular tweets. Another fan shares a side-by-side video of Tamar's revelation alongside Yandy's renewal of her vows from 2 seasons ago. The caption reads, "This is why we watch Love and Hip Hop." Andy Cohen is attempting to maintain order back on the reunion set, but anarchy reigns. Yandy is seated at one end of the couch and Tamar at the other. Mendeecees stood awkwardly between them as if he were about to be put to death. Andy bends over. "When did this start, Tamar?" Tamar draws in a long breath. "Everyone was drinking during the last season's rap party. In the end, Mendeecees and I were outdoors discussing life, just how difficult it is to be loyal in this field. It started with one thing." You can hear Yandy's jaw tightening. She avoids glancing at Tamar. She simply looks at Mendeecees. "You assured me that you would obtain ice for my drink. It took you 45 minutes. Rubbing his face, "Yes, I am aware. I was wrong. I continued making mistakes." Tamar leaps in. "Don't pretend that it was only him. I was also there. I went with this. That night, I choose him." At last, Yandy looks up, her eyes burning. "You choose my spouse, the father of my kids. Every day, you looked me in the face and grinned as you slept with him behind my back." The room falls silent. Even Andy is at a loss for words. The suspense persists even when the producers switch to a commercial. Yandy gets to her feet and approaches Tamar directly. correctly. Everyone believes she is going to swing. Rather, she simply bends over. Voice that is icy. Best wishes on your newborn. But pay attention to me. You'll never be related. I won't let you sit at my table. And Mendeecees, you had best get a lawyer tonight if you think you're going to leave this marriage with half of everything and raise a child with her. She dashes off set after turning on her heel. Fans outside are already screaming her name as if she were a warrior queen, so security has to barricade the door. As soon as Yandy goes, Tamar breaks down. With trembling shoulders, she hides her face in her hands. I wanted to avoid hurting her. I didn't, I promise. Confessionals, however, paint a different picture. Tamar acknowledges that a portion of me felt strong in a later tape. For once, I had something that Yandy didn't. She always had the ideal life and image. It's brutal. It's unvarnished, which is precisely why people can't turn away. Yandy is already in her car, pulling out of the parking lot, when Mendeecees tries to pursue her. Cameras follow him like vultures as he stands there by himself. He murmurs, I have to fix this. My family has to be fixed. However, everyone who is watching is aware of the reality. Certain things are irreversible. Some betrayals are too severe. Headlines burst the following morning. Mendeecees Harris made Tamar Braxton pregnant. Yandy Smith was unprepared. Grainy pictures of Mendeecees exiting Tamar's hotel room from months ago are posted by TMZ. Yandy is seen by paparazzi in a manicure salon, appearing apathetic as her manicurist murmurs, rumors. Detectives on social media begin to piece together. Around the time Mendeecees was allegedly working late, they discover old tweets from Tamar that state, sometimes the heart wants what it wants. As if it were a big sporting event, fans begin counting down to the next episode. Amari Lil Mendeecees and Infinity are perplexed inside the Harris home. Despite Yandy's best efforts, children are always aware. Later that evening, Infinity takes her away. Mommy is Auntie Tamar and Daddy's child. Yandy tries to grin, but it falls short of her eyes. We're working things out. Sweetie, please know that I adore you above anything else. However, she sits on the bathroom floor and eventually starts crying once the cameras are off. The unbreakable Yandy Smith is breaking, silent and unending. In contrast, Tamar is building a nest. She shares an enigmatic Instagram story, a black and white ultrasound picture with a single heart emoji and no caption. There are no comments allowed, but there are a lot of direct messages, some helpful, some nasty. She peruses each one. A part of her enjoys the pandemonium. Here, I'm not the antagonist. She informs her sister Trina directly. Trina gives a headshake. You just destroyed 2 families. Sis, don't do it or own it. Tamar laughs while crying. Perhaps I'm sick of playing the supporting role in other people's stories. For 2 days, Mendeecees vanishes. His whereabouts are unknown. Not at Tamar. Producers are in a frenzy. 2:03 in the morning. He then arrives to Tamar's door. Cameras record the entire event. He seems worn out. He declares, I can't lose my kids. However, I also can't leave this baby. He is let in by Tamar. They converse for hours. Just tears, promises, and fear no sex. The video is priceless, but he departs before dawn. Emotional slaughter. Part 2 of the reunion is set for 48 hours from now. Fireworks. Andy says, according to insiders, Yandy is bringing voice notes, hotel receipts, texts, and receipts. Tamar is preparing to defend herself. Mindy is only hoping that no one gets locked up. Whatever happens next, everyone in the Bravo universe is holding their breath. It will never be the same again. A fresh player joins the discussion just when you think the situation can't get any more outrageous. At a Lakers game, Tamar's former partner Vincent Herbert is seen courtside with a jersey that reads, Ask me about my baby. Fans go crazy. Slow down now. She kept her hand on her stomach, as though the infant could protect. She kept her hand on her stomach, as though the infant could protect her from what lay ahead. In the morning, she wore black. Whether on purpose or not, it read like a declaration. Andy wasted no time at all. Before we open that envelope, Tamar and Mendeecees, do you have anything further to say? Yandy said, You're done. Many took the lead. Hoarse voice. I only want my family to return. It is all. I'm pleading, but I know I broke everything. Let me try to make things right. Yandy avoided his gaze. She only gave the envelope a tap. It was your chance. Years and years. Chances are no longer an issue. Consequences are at issue here. Tamar's throat cleared. I know you detest me, Yandy. You got it. However, that infant inside of me is innocent. None of these were his choices. At last, Yandy's eyes met hers. When you chose to have sex with their father, neither did my kids. Still, here we are. The crowd gave a hiss. Tamar's chin trembled, but she maintained her composure.
I'm not requesting pardon. For the children, for everyone, I'm pleading for peace. To a producer, Andy nodded. The lights moved. We have a guest who insisted on being present before we proceed. The drapes opened. Vincent Herbert went outside. A designer hoodie, a confident gait, and a fresh fade. The room blew up. Gasps, screams, phones, and everything being recorded. Vincent stayed seated. As a bodyguard, he stood behind Tamar. He spoke loud enough for the microphones to hear, "I'm here for my sister. That's everything for my nephew." Yandy's fingers clenched around the package, but her expression remained unchanged. Yandy leaped in. "You've been quite vocal on the internet, Vincent. Why come right now?" The man shrugged. "Don't let families suffer through this on their own. Tamar is still blood, despite her serious mistakes. And the blood of that infant as well. Would you like to be the father of 2 families, Mendeecees? It's cool, but don't pretend that you have the final say on how things turns out." Mendeecees got up. "This isn't your fight, Vin." "Lo," Vincent chuckled. "When you forced my ex to carry your child while still married, it turned into a quarrel. Honor the game, dude. When you started sneaking, you lost that." Producers motioned for cameras to zoom in closely because the tension was so intense. Yandy took out papers from the envelope. Calmly, "These are divorce papers," she stated. 2 weeks ago, I had them drawn up. I was expecting for you to show up, but you didn't." She moved them over to Mendeecees' side of the table. Like they were poison, he gazed at them. Tamar exhaled. "Not Yandy. Kindly consider the children." Slowly, Yandy turned to her. "I haven't considered anything else. My children should have a mother who isn't weeping herself to sleep or worrying about if their father is returning home or sleeping with someone else. This circus is not what they deserve, stability." Yandy grabbed the papers away from Mendeecees as he reached for them. "Do not sign them. I'm tired of waiting, though." Vincent moved toward Tamar's direction. "You okay?" She nodded while crying. "All I wanted was for everyone to be happy." Vincent gave a head shake. "Tonight, happiness is not on the menu. Survival is Andy's attempt to take back control, sis. What would you like, Mendeecees?" Mendeecees glanced between the 2 ladies. The papers came next, followed by Vincent. "I'd like my wife. I can't leave this baby behind, I want my children." "I'll not." Yandy was up. "You've then decided what to do." She left the papers on his lap and headed for the door. The crowd yelled, half applauding her fortitude, pleading with her to stay. However, she paused at the stairs, pivoted, and glanced at Tamar. "I don't mean to hurt you. I hope your youngster stays safe. But as of right now, we are strangers. I don't think you exist. He is. You and I, but he can pay child support. Never go back." Now Tamar sobbed aloud. She felt Vincent's touch on her shoulder. Mendeecees was still. Looking lost, with papers in hand. No one could take their eyes off Andy when he called for a break, so the cameras continued to roll. Yandy finally let the disguise crack as she fell onto a chair backstage. Her boss gave her a hug. "You did what you had to," Yandy said. "I just killed my marriage on live TV." "What kind of mother does that?" she asked, her voice still composed despite her tears. "The kind that protects her babies," she said. Tamar continued to perform. Now Vincent sat next to her. He said, "Are you ready for what comes next?" She cleaned her face. "I need to be. Whether they forgive me or not, this baby is coming." Mendeecees walked carefully toward them. "I'm sorry for everything, Tamar." She glanced up. "Simply be present at his birth. All I want is that." His response was a nod. I pledge." In real time, social media fell apart. Hashtag #YandySmith rose to the top. Edits poured in. Dramatic music is remixed of Yandy leaving the set. The other woman finally wins or loses. Vincent's appearance spawned 1,000 me. When you show up to the family reunion you weren't invited to, Tamar sobbed in the caption. Fans argued over whether Vincent was an agitator or a hero, with the majority choosing hero. The following 48 hours were chaotic, with paparazzi swarming Yandy's home. She issued a brief but impactful statement via her PR, saying, "My children and I are focusing on healing. Thank you for the love. Please respect our privacy." Tamar went live from her crib, soft lighting, pastel walls, silence as a weapon, and no hint of men's deceit or Tamar. She caressed her stomach and said, "Little man, mommy's been through hell, but you're my heaven. We got this." Reactions were divided, with some hearts and some knives, but support was building as the underdog narrative and pregnancy glow changed people's perceptions. Mendeecees shared a picture of himself with his elder children with the caption, "Daddy loves you forever, no matter what." No apology, no explanation, just the picture, which went viral. Fans scrutinized every pixel, wondering if he was picking Yandy. Then came the shocking revelation that no one had anticipated. TMZ released exclusive audio of a phone conversation between Mendeecees and Tamar from weeks prior, in which he said, "I'm leaving her. All I need is time." "You say that every time," she retorted. "Verify it." "I swear." The internet exploded after the baby was born. Yandy's lawyer sent a cease and desist to TMZ within hours, but it was too late. Yandy followers shouted setup, Tamar's fans cried proof he was done, Mendeecees went black, and there was no reply or denial. The producers promised a final meeting with all participants and DNA results. Wait, DNA, because Tamar had opted for an early paternity test. The damage was catastrophic. Reunion Part 4 was already scheduled as the blowout finale. The stage was set for the most explosive reunion in Bravo history. Why were the results concealed until the finale? Because doubt has been created, she informed producers off camera. "I need everyone to know the truth. No more questions." The audience seats sold out in a matter of minutes, the internet betting pool began, Yandy in her power suit, Mendeecees perspiring, Tamar holding her suddenly very round tummy, Vincent in the wings, and an envelope with the one truth that might either end the conflict or start a bigger one. With 48 hours until the conclusion, every spectator was certain that Bravo would never be the same, and neither would they. Would Mendeecees sign the papers? Would Yandy accept him back? Was the baby even his? The countdown was on. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, Tamar completely rocked the internet with an unexpected revelation. She came forward and said, "I am pregnant," in a moment that instantly sent shockwaves across social media. However, it didn't end there because the name that followed, Mendeecees 2, was what really turned this into a full-fledged controversy. The whole story went from unexpected to explosive. This isn't just another headline, it's the kind of situation that draws in layers of history, relationships, loyalty, and unanswered questions because, when you mention Tamar, you're not just talking about a public figure, you're talking about someone whose life has already been scrutinized for years. When you bring Mendeecees into the conversation, you're adding another whole world of complexity, especially given everything that surrounds his past, his relationships, and the expectations people already have. The initial response on the internet conveys confusion, shock, and conjecture. Let's be honest, this isn't the kind of news that people just take at face value, it raises too many questions. Some are attempting to piece things together, others are wondering how this could have happened, and many are just trying to figure out whether this is even real. How long has this been going on? Was it something private that only recently came to light, or has it been happening quietly behind the scenes? Perhaps the most important question of all is, what does this mean for everyone involved? Because situations like this don't happen in a vacuum, they have an impact on other people. They have an impact on Tamar's and Mendeecees' reputations, relationships, families, and entire social circles. Once something like this is made public, it cannot be undone, Every word, every reaction, every silence is scrutinized. For Tamar, this is a huge moment. While admitting a pregnancy is already a life-altering announcement, doing so under such circumstances adds a whole new level of intensity. There is vulnerability in that kind of admission, but there is also risk because she is aware of the kinds of reactions that would ensue. Even so, she made the decision to speak, which alone indicates that whatever is going on here is serious. Meanwhile, people are staring at Mendeecees and waiting for a denial, a confirmation, or a response because, at this